matchup in the playoffs. Marty Morgan along with Darren Landry. And tonight, the #1 ranked Amite Warriors go on the road to face the Winnsboro Wildcats. And Darren, anytime you travel, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, especially when you come this far. Not under the best circumstances, the best conditions here tonight. Is the field's not lit up real well, and I just hope it doesn't play a problem or play a big part in this game, as the Amite Warriors are not used to playing in a facility like this. We was down on the field before the game. The field wasn't in that great a shape. The lighting's not real good, so let's just hope these Amite Warriors can overcome that and play a good game tonight.
So Amite will receive. Back deep to receive will be Jarrell Carter along with Oscar Perry. And Perry will take it on his 20. He'll look for some running room, and he'll get it up to the 30. And this Winnsboro team, Darren, not a team with a lot of players, as they have 32 players, and Amite probably dresses out somewhere in the upper 70s, but they have two guys, Russell Williams and Bobby Rose, that everybody in the country is looking at it, so they're not short on talent.
No, they're not short on talent, Marty, and one thing, they're not short on speed either. Look for this team. They're a real speed team. Not like you said, not a lot of players on the sidelines, not a lot of players dressed out, but they're a real fast team.
So Amite comes out, Wagner under center, C.J. Baptiste the lone setback. Man in motion, handed up the middle, banging forward for about, 5 yards will be Baptiste, and he brings it to the 35.
Yeah, and a good job by that offensive line of the Amite Warriors. Look for them to do that tonight, pound the ball up the middle. If they can get the ball to Baptiste all night and he can pick up 5 yards every time, look for him to do that all night. Just ride that big horse as far as he can go.
And you know, this wind could be a factor tonight, as we have wind gusting out of the southeast at about 30 miles an hour. So it's a windy night here in Winnsboro. Edwards in motion. He'll fake it to him and end around to Oscar Perry, and Perry's got an opening, and he'll pick up the first down.
And that's one thing you got to look for from this Amite offense. They'll make you think that they're going to hand the ball to Baptiste up the middle and pound it up the middle, and they're going to run a lot of misdirection in the backfield. A lot of guys going in motion, a lot of fake handoffs, so it really keeps the defense off guard. Winnsboro's not going to know where the ball is going to go. They're just going to have to stay at home and play the way they're supposed to play in their own territory if they're going to be able to contain this Amite offense.
So Wagner once again after the first down run by Perry. He'll pitch it out to Solomon. He'll break a tackle, but he cannot get away from number 41. That's Bobby Rose, the guy we talked about.
Yes, and if Rose doesn't make that tackle right there, he's got a lot of running room. But see, that's the first 3 plays of the game. Amite's come out and done something different. They've thrown the ball, they've handed the ball up the middle, they've run the end around. So, I mean, they're really going to keep this Winnsboro defense off guard.
And a great mix of early play calls by Coach Donald Career and his staff early on. As Amite will start with a 2nd down and 7, 10:25 to go in the first quarter, no score. Perry goes in motion. He'll hand it up the middle to Baptiste, and he'll just run hard to about across the 50, where he'll pick up about 3. Will bring up a 3rd down and 4.
3rd and 5 for midfield.
Yeah, and a lot's going to have to do tonight for this offense of Amite to have success with that offensive line. I mean, they jam up real tight. You don't see many high school teams do that, where the offensive linemen line up feet to feet, toe to toe, with not a big gap in between. But they spread the field out outside of that and force the defense to spread out. And when they do, they create some big holes for Baptiste.
So no man in the backfield. Baptiste in motion. Wagner will fake it to him. He's got a man open. Solomon at the 20. He's at the 10. And Solomon will be in the end zone, or no? Are they going to give him the touchdown, as one referee signaled and the other one didn't? And yes, it is a touchdown. And Darren, that's what we talk about, the great play calling by Donald Career. He slams it up the middle, he goes outside, and when the defenders attack on the outside, that leaves an open receiver.
Yeah, great play talk. Like you said it, nobody was in the backfield, but they put Baptiste in motion, and he ran behind Wagner, the quarterback, as the ball was snapped. So somebody from the defense had to stay at home in case they handed the ball to Baptiste, but they didn't. Had the receiver wide open, great pass by Wagner, and he streaked it in for the touchdown. But one thing I did notice right there, Williams, the big running back for Winnsboro, tracked him down right at the goal line. So, I mean, when I said earlier that Winnsboro's got some speed, that's an example right there of their speed.
And that was a nice pass from Brandon Wagner, the senior signal caller, and a nice run by Solomon. So Amite doing exactly what they needed to do. You go on the road, Darren, you want to get up early and take away the momentum from the home team. Don't let them sit around and think they have a chance to beat you. And right there, Damian Thompson on the PAT. So with 9:33 to go in the first quarter, Amite leads 7-0.
That's that quick strike offense, and that's the team. That's the look of a team that'll jump on you and won't let you get back up. Last week, Amite scored on their first 6 possessions when they routed the game last week, the Northwestern. And so far tonight, they're coming out and picking up right back where they left off, jumping out early with a big score on a long touchdown pass to Solomon.
So now we'll see if Amite's defense can contain Russell Williams and Bobby Rose. And talking to the Amite coaches early before the game, they were fearful of the speed of this Winnsboro team. They say any 4 or 5 guys has blazing speed and can take it at any moment. So back deep to receive for Winnsboro will be Jacob Thomas, Russell Williams, and number 80, John Moffitt. Kicking off will be Damian Thompson. So we're here in Winnsboro, Louisiana, in the middle of a cotton field, on top of a stadium, Darren, that may not hold up the rest of the night, because I'm starting to feel it lean a little bit. And man, what a kick by Thompson. He kicks it out the end zone. And Darren, when you got a kicker that can do that and make him go 80 yards, that's tough. You know, we hadn't seen Amite as we've done all the Ponchatoula games, but, you know, they're not #1 ranked in the state for nothing, and that's just another added weapon, a kicker.
I'll tell you what, in the whole Winnsboro side over here where we're at, as soon as they saw that ball leave his foot and saw where it was going out the back of the end zone, if he'd have kicked it straight, it would have went through the uprights. This whole Winnsboro side, all the fans, you could hear gasps like, oh, man, where did that come from? Because, I mean, he just boomed that ball out.
So the freshman quarterback, Matt Boatwell, Amite in a traditional 4-3 defense. They'll sweep it right to Rose. And he'll be taken down by number 1. That's Dorset Buckles, where he may get a gain of 2.
Yeah, good pursuit that time by the defense. Amite had good outside contain and forced Rose inside, and when they forced him inside, Buckles was right there to make the stop. And like you said, stopped it for about a 2, maybe a 3-yard gain. So that's what Amite's defense is going to have to do. They're going to have to stop these big backs from Winnsboro.
So Winnsboro sets up 2nd down and 7 from their own 23-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Amite leads 7-0. Boutwell under center. He'll hand it off to Johnson. He has an opening, and he'll pick up the first down up to about the 33-yard line, where he is brought down by number 24, Milton Harrell.
You know, we talked about Williams and Rose before the game. Right there, they handed it off to Thompson. And, man, he just exploded through that hole and picked up the first down. One thing I did notice, though, Amite's defense, once he got through the initial line of scrimmage, the entire Amite defense converged on him, and they gang tackled. And, you know, that's one thing they're going to have to do. When you got good backs like Winnsboro's got, the defense is going to have to gang tackle.
And that Amite defense can run. So 1st down and 10 for Winnsboro at their own 33. They're going to hand it up the middle to Rose, and he's stacked up by the entire defensive front by big number 92, James Brown.
Bobby Rose on the carry, pick up 2 yards, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and Amite's got a big front on the defensive line there, and it's going to be hard for them being Winnsboro to push them out of the way. So if they continue to try to run up the middle, look for Amite's defensive front. That's twice I've done that. Look for Amite's defensive front to really stack up the middle and force Winnsboro to try to run outside.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Amite leads 7-0. Toss sweep to Rose. He's trying to get outside. He breaks a couple tackles, and it's going to be a fumble. And Amite will have the ball. And Darren, that's coaching right there. You saw Rose get second effort, and a young man went there stripping the ball.
Yeah, that's a well-coached team. I mean, the defense, they were about to give up maybe a 5-6 yard gain right there. Rose, give him a lot of credit. He was fighting and struggling and pushing forward all he could. He gave a lot of effort, but Amite's defense just came through, stripped the ball, and they were Johnny on the spot, jumped on it. Now it's going to be up to the Amite's offense to capitalize on that and really put a spike in Winnsboro's heart here early in the game.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the Winnsboro 48. Perry in motion. Play fake Wagner. He's got pressure. He's looking. He's going to run it, and he may pick up a yard, and that's good senior leadership right there by Wagner. Having been in the war as a 3-year starter, the guy was covered, so you tuck it under and run.
Yeah, he was covered. It was just, you want to say a 3-step drop, but I don't think he dropped back that far, and he looked downfield, and he saw his guy was covered. He waited for a minute, and then he decided to run out of bounds. After trying to get upfield, he couldn't get upfield. He ran out of bounds, avoided the big hit, and instead of losing yards, he picked up a yard. So Amite still got positive yards on the play.
So it brings up 2nd down and 9 for Amite. C.J. Baptiste lone setback. Perry in motion. Perry will get the handoff. He's looking for a block, and he's going to get outside and up to the 40-yard line. And we could have possibly had a holding or a face mask on that play, Darren.
Yeah, I thought we probably should have had both on that play, holding and then a face mask after that. But give him some credit. He followed behind his blocker. He stayed behind his blocker. He was patient. He waited. And at the last minute, when he knew he couldn't wait on his blocker anymore, he went to the outside for a nice positive gain of about 7 yards.
So it brings up a 3rd and 2 for Amite. 7:22 to go in the first quarter, and Amite leads 7-0. Baptiste the lone setback. Solomon in motion. Baptiste with some running room, trying to get outside. He's going to run over a guy and break a tackle, break a second one, keep going down the sidelines, break through another tackle, folks, and C.J. Baptiste, sure power.
Baptiste on the carry.
What a great run right by Baptiste. He broke about 3 or 4 tackles. He just ran over people down on the field before the game, helping him stretch out. That guy's got some legs. I mean, his legs kind of remind you of an Earl Campbell. But one thing I do want to mention, Cletus Gordon that time was downfield running a route, and he turned back when he saw Baptiste coming and threw a great block on about the 20-yard line, which helped Baptiste get down to about the 10-5, where he broke a couple more tackles before he finally got in the end zone.
Well, excuse us if we get a little excitement, because we've done 10 Ponchatoula games, and this is the most offense we've seen in the 10 games prior. So, you know, Amite runs a lot of different things. They mix it up, and they're a fun offense to look at, Darren. They mix it up well, and they've got the horses to run it.
Yeah, and going up right now early, 14-0 with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. You've got to wonder if Winnsboro is going to try to get out of their game plan. I mean, they're down. You know they wanted to come in and try to run the ball. That's what they've done all year. But now they're down real quick. They fumbled the ball on their first series. Amite recovered, and then they capitalized by scoring a touchdown. Now you're getting the ball only for your second time in the game, and you're already down 14-0. If you're Winnsboro, do you stick to your game plan of trying to run the ball even though you're down big early? Or do you come out and maybe try to throw the ball or open your offense up and do something you really didn't want to do this early in the game?
Well, if I'm Winnsboro, Darren, and I'm looking early on, I don't see any way that I can really stop Amite, you know, for the majority of the game. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to score with them. And you know, the first offensive series, they did show the ability to run the ball pretty well. We haven't seen them pass, but we will see. And once again, that's Solomon for Amite. I'm sorry, Damian Thompson. And Darren, they did a statistic. And when teams have to drive from their 20-yard lines, it's like 15% that they go and score. So that's just another added weapon.
Yeah, that is a big added weapon. I mean, you don't have to worry about a kick being returned on you, especially in high school. As soon as the ball crosses the goal line, it's going to be blown dead and brought out to the 20. So, I mean, but it wouldn't matter because he's kicking them out of the end zone, so nobody would have a chance to return any of his kickoffs anyway.
So we'll see what Winnsboro decides to do as they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. They trail 14-0, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. And they're going to sign 3 receivers, and they're going to try a drop-back pass, and they're going to get pressure on Williams, and he's scrambling away from it. And my, oh my, did Gedrick Dorsett Buckles lay a lick, folks. Whoo!
Man, what a lick by Dorsett Buckles. I mean, Rose, he caught the ball on the far side of the field. It was going to be a halfback pass. He had a guy streaking down here that was open initially, but Amite's pursuit got to him so fast he couldn't set up to throw the ball, and he reversed his field, came all the way back here to the near side and tried to turn the corner. And when he did, Dorsett Buckles had a full head of steam, and he just leveled him. I mean, what a great lick by Buckles.
So 2nd down and 15, and that was the trick play that Winnsboro tried to gain some momentum. So that's going to be a loss of 10, bringing it 2nd down and 20. They'll toss sweep it to Thomas. He'll try to get outside, and he'll be met hard again. That is a swarming defense, folks. But there's going to be a penalty on Amite, and that's going to hurt him, Darren.
Yeah, Amite had 10 guys on the pile that time, and the only guy who wasn't on the pile is going to be the guy who's going to be called for the personal foul. I think they're going to call a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct or something. And yeah, that's going to be a tough break because if I'm not mistaken, I think that's going to be an automatic first down as well.
And that's just penalties that you cannot have. And I don't know what happened, but, you know, Amite playing great defense, and one of the defensive linemen gets a penalty, and a no-nonsense penalty. And against a big play offense like Winnsboro, you can't afford to have things like that.
First down, Wildcats.
Yeah, that's one thing you didn't want to do. On first down, you made them lose 7 yards when they tried to trick play. That time, you corralled them for another loss, but you get the penalty like that, and it gives them 15 yards plus another first down. So now they've got a fresh start at about the 32-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Winnsboro at their own 32, trying desperately to get something going. It'll be a reverse to Williams. He's got an opening, but it closes quickly as
Williams on the carry.
number 32 for the Warriors, Leonard Brumfield on the stop. And Darren, we've seen nothing but 5A football, and this is AAA football, but Amite can play with any of them. And I'm going to tell you what, they swarm to the ball better than anybody I've seen this year.
Yeah, they really do swarm to the ball. They've got speed. I mean, you talk about 5A, 3A. They played a Hammond team this year who made the playoffs, co-district champs in 5A, and they beat them. And, I mean, this Amite team, they're not, like you said before, they're not ranked number 1 in the state for nothing. These guys are good.
So 2nd down and 5 for Winnsboro. Handed up the middle to Thomas, and he may get a yard or two before he's dragged down by Ephraim Akcha, along with number 76 for the Warriors. That's Troy Brumfield. So 3rd and 2.
Yeah, big third down right here for Amite. If they can stop Winnsboro right here and force them to punt the ball, then they'll have the ball for the third time, only their third possession, up 14-0, and they'll have it in good field position with the wind still to their back, because we still have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So if they make the big stop here, they got a chance to go up 21-0 and really put a hurting on Winnsboro.
So 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats. And coming up to make the stop is number 24. That's Milton Harrell from the cornerback position.
Man, he was like he was shot out of a cannon. He came from nowhere. He was at his cornerback position, saw it was going to be a tall sweep. And that's what you like to see out of a cornerback, a defensive back, a guy who will, when he can recognize, run right away, charge the line of scrimmage. That time he made the tackle 3 yards deep in the backfield. He took the guy's legs out. Just an outstanding play by a cornerback.
So Jarrell Carter back deep to receive. Williams will get off a nice punt. Carter will just let it bounce, where Amite will set up at the 25-yard line. And Darren, if Amite's got 78 men on the roster, I'd venture to say 75 of them can just flat out fly, because that's what it looks early on. I know the starter in 11 offensively and defense can do that, and they're up 14-0 against a very good athletic Winnsboro team. But, you know, like you say, numbers could play a big part of it late in this game, and Winnsboro already facing the number 1 ranked team in the state kind of mentally down at this point. So Amite takes over from their own 25-yard line. Brandon Wagner, who's done a good job controlling this offense. That's Harrell trying to get outside. He's going to get closer to first down, where he'll be brought down about a yard short. I'm sorry, that's Dennis Edwards on the carry, bringing up a 2nd down and 2, and that's a speed play where they set their whole offense off of, Darren.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that play tonight, Marty. This is, like I said, Amite's 3rd series of the game, and I don't think they run the same play twice. So they're really giving Winnsboro a lot to look at, and not only Winnsboro, but guys, other teams who are going to watch this film, their next opponent in the playoffs, they're giving them a lot to look at here tonight early.
So 2nd down and 3 for Amite. Quarterback keeper around the right end, that's Wagner. He's going to break a tackle up to about the 45-yard line. And Darren, when you prepare, I know it's early on and this game isn't over, but how would you prepare as an opposing coach for Amite? I mean, they have so many weapons.
Pick up of 11 yards.
I don't know that you can prepare for a team like that other than you've just got to have the athletic ability, the speed on your defense to be able to keep up with these guys. Because, I mean, Amite, there again, they ran another play we hadn't seen all night, ran the quarterback around the end, Wagner. He showed some great speed, and the only way you're going to combat that is with speed yourself.
So sets up a 1st down and 10 at their own 45. Edwards in motion. Sprint draw to Baptiste. He's going to cut it back up the middle, and he's going to carry a couple tacklers for about 4 yards. And good pursuit by Winnsboro, but it may not show up in the stats. That's a pretty good run by Baptiste.
4 yards.
Yeah, that was a tough 4 yards he picked up right there. And every yard he gets, and every time a Winnsboro guy tries to tackle him, they're going to know it. There are going to be no easy tackles when you try to tackle C.J. Baptiste.
So sets up a 2nd down and 6 for Amite. 2:51 to go in the 1st quarter, and Amite leads 14-0. Brandon Wagner, the senior signal caller. Intended for Solomon, a little underthrown, but a nice mix in the play caller.
Yeah, they just tried the quick hits right that time and tried to use their speed to their advantage, although Winnsboro's got their 2 big guys out there, Rose and Williams, as defensive backs, and that's one thing we're going to have to look at, watch as the game goes on. They're playing defense, Winnsboro's top 2 running backs. They never come off the field. They will wear out at the end of the game, especially chasing the speed of Amite.
And Amite fortunate enough to have a 2-platoon system, Darren. That's very rare in AAA. That's going to be an illegal motion on the Warriors, and that's going to set them up 5 yards, or bring up a 3rd and 10. And Darren, that's a great advantage when nobody can go both ways. Tonight's game being brought to you by Citizens Finance Company, 107 West Oak Street in Amite. Citizens Finance is proud to support the 1999 Amite Warriors. Stop by Citizens Finance today for loans to help with all your holiday expenses. That's Citizens Finance in Amite. So 3rd and 11 for Amite. Solomon in motion. About 20 guys were faked. Thompson open, and just out of the outstretched arms of Damian Thompson. And Darren, once again, what a play call.
4th and 11.
Great call, and he was open there for a split second. If the ball would have been thrown to the sidelines, the safety that time didn't quite bite like they would have wanted him to bite. He was open probably for about 15, 20 yards, but by the time he got to where he was supposed to be, to where the ball was thrown, the safety came over a little bit. The ball was a little bit overthrown, just out of the outstretched hands of Thompson.
So on the punt for the Warriors will be Derek Hornsby. Back deep to receive for Winnsboro will be John Moffitt. And Hornsby gets a low line driver. Moffitt fields it at his 20, reverses his field, and he's taken down by number 14, Julian Harris.
And I tell you what, Marty, it's not just a couple guys on this Amite team who's got speed. They've all got speed. And that time right there, a low line drive kick that the guy feels cleanly. Normally you're going to get a good return on that because your coverage team on the punt doesn't have a chance to get down the field. But with this Amite team, they're so fast. They got down there and was able to tackle him for maybe a 5-yard gain at the most.
So Winnsboro will set up at their own 20, trailing 14-0 with 2:22 to go in the 1st quarter. Boatwright, the freshman signal caller, hands it outside to Williams, and he may pick up a yard before James Brown and Ephraim Akacha tackle him.
Yeah, Darcet Buckles is on that tackle too from his middle linebacker position. I happened to be watching him on that play. The ball came, the guard came out to block him. He shucked the block of the guard, went around and was able to jump on the pile too to help. I mean, just a sound defense. And when you got a sound defense with sound philosophies and you throw speed in with that, you got a great combination.
So 2nd down and 9. Winnsboro attempting their first pass and dropped. Intended for Williams, and Darren, had he caught that, Winnsboro may have been back in this ball game.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting if he had caught it. You had the safety coming over who would have had a chance to make the tackle. But had he not tipped the ball like he did, Amite would have had an interception because they were right there behind him. So, I mean, tough break if you Winnsboro, but if you're Amite, you got away with one right there.
And you know, you got to like the character and the maturity of this young freshman quarterback, Matt Boatwell. Only a freshman who's done a great job this year. Now they're going to put Russell Williams at quarterback. He's going to drop back, looking to air it out, and he's throwing deep, and there's guys tangled up all over, and the Winnsboro people don't like it, Darren.
No, they don't like it, but that's a good no call, if there's such a thing, a good no call, because both the receiver and the defender were running step for step, side by side. Their feet got tangled up. Neither one of them was pushing each other. Their feet just got tangled up. They both fell down. You know, and you see it happen a lot, and you hear it called like that a lot, but a good no call.
So Winnsboro forced the punt, and Williams threw that ball about 40 yards in the air against the wind. So Jarrell Carter back deep to receive for Amite. Williams gets an end-over-end punt. Carter will call for a fair catch at his own 40, at the Winnsboro 40.
Pass. Punt is fair call.
So now, yeah, Marty, this Amite offense is going to take over now. It's going to be their fourth possession of the first quarter, and it's going to be on Winnsboro's side of the field. Minute 26 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And so far tonight, this game has been dominated by Amite, both offensively, defensively, and I guess you could say special teams too, with the good punt covers they've had and the good kickoffs that have been going out of the end zone.
So Amite will set up on the Winnsboro side at their 48. Baptiste the lone setback. Edwards in motion. Handed up the middle of Baptiste. He's got a gaping hole, using good balance to pick up about 12 down to the Winnsboro 33-yard line. And we'll get these names as the night goes on, but that offensive line is doing a good job. They remind me of you, my co-partner, Darren Landry, a 3-year starter for the LSU Tigers and a Ponchatoula High grad. The big guys up front are doing a job, and I know you like to see that. So first down for Amite at the Winnsboro 32. Solomon in motion. Baptiste trying to get around, breaking a tackle, and he's going to pick up about a yard. Bringing up second down and 9 as we go down to the end, close to the end of the first period with Amite leading 14-0. And Darren, Amite has really looked good in this first quarter. So
gain of 1 yard, it'll be second and 9.
Winnsboro is going to have to make some sort of adjustment because they fall behind 21-0. They're really going to be in a hole. So second down and 9 for the Warriors. Edwards in motion. Handed up the middle to Baptiste. He breaks another hole, cuts outside, and he gets it down to the 10. And Darren, every time Baptiste runs the ball, he's looking to hit somebody.
Yeah, and you can see Winnsboro, they've got wind of Baptiste now. They know he brings the load. And the two guys back there trying to tackle him at that time didn't want to have no part of him. They didn't want to hit him up high. They tried to go down low. And you said it, he's looking to hit somebody. I mean, when he busts through that line of scrimmage, you know, them big legs of his, he's got some momentum behind him, and I don't blame him. If I was a little DB like they were, I wouldn't want to hit him up top either because he'll run clean over him.
So first and 10 for Amite as they have the ball on the Winnsboro 10. Edwards in motion. Baptiste up the middle. He's got a gaping hole. He's going to bull his way forward, and he's going to score. So at the end of the first quarter, Amite takes a 21-0 lead. And Darren, watching this Amite Warrior football team in this first quarter, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, and what I said a minute ago about the defensive backs from Winnsboro not wanting to hit him, that time Baptiste had two guys on his back, it looked like, and they had a defensive back on the 1 yard line who could have tried to hit him up top and stop him from getting in the end zone, but instead of meeting him head on and trying to run into that train, he just got to the side and just kind of waved him in the end zone, and Baptiste scored right there, and Amite goes up 20-0. The extra point, it's going to be good. So now they're up 21-0 on the last play of the first quarter.
So Amite has had a dominating first quarter, and they have bolted to a 21-0 lead. Coverage of tonight's Amite High School playoff game is brought to you in part by Citizens Finance Company, 107 West Oak in Amite. Citizens Finance is proud to support the 1990 Amite Warriors. Stop by Citizens Finance for loans to help with all of your holiday expenses. That's Citizens Finance in Amite. And Darren, give me your thoughts on the first quarter.
Speed and power. I mean, that's all you can say about this Amite team, and well coached. I mean, you can tell they're well coached. They run a lot of different formations. They do a lot of faking on offense. On defense, they stay at home. They play their assignments correct. And, you know, when you're well coached and you listen to your coaches, you know, you do your assignments, and you've got speed and power to go with it, that's a dangerous combination. And this Amite team's got it all.
And Darren, we were on the field earlier, and they're having fun. And I know winning does that, but they're loose, they're having a good time, and that's all part of high school football, and whatever they've done has worked. And Damian Thompson, once again, will kick it into the end zone, and nothing has gone wrong for Amite tonight. And it's not like they're playing a bad team. Winnsboro has got two guys that are being recruited by everybody in the Southeast. Bobby Rose, I'd heard, committed to Arkansas along with Russell Williams, so it's not like Winnsboro lacking athletes.
No, and this Winnsboro team has played some good competition too this year. They played out of their 10 games, eight teams they played made the playoffs, and they beat 5 of the 8. So they really have some stiff challenge this year.
So Winnsboro, Boutwell looking to throw deep, and a beautiful catch right there on a nice adjustment by Russell Williams. So that young Boutwell threw a nice pass, and Williams makes a good catch, and not bad coverage.
Yeah, the coverage was there, but the throw was just on the money. I mean, Boutwell threw it where nobody could catch it, but his receiver. And that time Williams caught the ball right on the sideline over his shoulder. Great catch, and that's a big momentum boost for Winnsboro. And Amite calls a timeout right here as the coach comes out of the field, and he looks upset as his defense. And you know, after giving up one big play like that, I'm sure he sees something that we don't see up here. And he's really giving his defense a tongue lashing out there right now.
And I'm going to tell you what, Coach Career, I don't know if you've seen him, but he will get in your face, and he's got a scowl that'll just scare you from a mile away. When he's a very intense coach, and hey, he was at Franklinton in the late 70s, and when you can bring Franklinton to the Superdome, you know what you're doing. So Donald Career, having won a state championship in 1994 with this Amite team, trying to get another one, and he sees good job by Amite. You know, they see that obviously a guy was out of position or something, and Winnsboro gives up a big play. Even up 21-0, he's coaching the whole way.
Yeah, and look for this Amite defense right now to really be fired up. And you know, after a tongue lashing like that from the coach who comes out in the middle of the field, if that don't get your head screwed back on straight, I don't think nothing will.
I don't want Dennis Erickson. I want Donald Career at LSU. So Boutwell, a little trickery. Williams throwing it deep. Nice coverage and almost a great catch by number 80, John Moffitt. And once again, Amite doing a good job defending, but Williams had to throw that ball 50 yards in the air, and you saw the athleticism of Moffitt.
Yeah, good play action that time, which gave Boutwell a little time to throw the ball. When he threw the ball, he threw it on the money. Moffitt that time had 2 Amite defenders all over him, and somehow the ball got between them, and he almost came down with a great catch.
So 2nd down and 10 for Winnsboro, trying desperately to get back into this ball game. Screen to Williams, and Dorsett Buckles just destroys him. Man, he packs a load.
Hello, is anybody home? Buckles showing us home. I tell you what, this guy, that's 2 big licks we've seen from him tonight from his inside linebacker position. This guy brings a load. I mean, he can really bring it, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm not for sure, but I'm surprised that not a lot more big colleges looking at this guy because, you know, I know he's qualified academically. I know he's got his test scores, and watching him so far here tonight, he can bring it.
I mean, I don't care if you say he's undersized. The young man can flat out play. So 3rd down and 10, Russell Williams at quarterback. He's being pressured. He's under some pressure, and once again, on a blitz. Amite does not like to blitz, but right there, Dorsett Buckle was chasing him along with big number 68, who may be on the track team after that run. That's Marbury Wilson. So that's going to set up a 4th and 10, and I think Winnsboro is going to go for it, Darren.
Yeah, I mean, they're at midfield right now, and down 21-0, it won't do you much good to punt the ball. You've got the wind to your back, and ever since they've had the wind to their back, they've really thrown the ball a lot better. I don't know how much that really has to do with it, but look for them to come out and throw the ball again. They keep rotating quarterbacks in and out between Williams and Boatwell, though, but now it looks like they're going to line up and punt the ball.
So Williams is going to fake it, and he's going to have a guy wide open, intended for
Pass is incomplete.
for Derek Martin, and right there, that's a good bit of a trickery for Winnsboro, as he had a man wide open for a first down, but Martin just could not hold on to it. So Winnsboro pulling out their full complement of tricks from the playbook, catching Amite off guard, but unable to pick up the first down.
And that's one thing you're going to have to watch out if you're Amite. Winnsboro's got one of their best athletes on the team back there punting the ball. He's probably their best runner. He's one of their better passers. So when he's back there receiving the snap to punt, you've really got to keep your eye on him because he can do anything.
So we'll see how this affects Amite's passing game against the wind. Baptiste in motion. Quarterback sneak up the middle on a counter. Wagner cuts it outside, across the 40, down to the 30, into Winnsboro territory to the 28-yard line, and all cylinders clicking for the Amite Warriors right now.
What a great job by that offensive line. I mean, Wagner that time took the snap. He faked two handoffs, and then he just rolled around and followed that big line. And once he got 2 or 3 yards down past the line of scrimmage, it was wide open running. He used his speed to get to the outside, and he was finally run out of bounds at the far side at about the 28-yard line. But once again, Marty, great play call.
And Darren, with this Amite offense, we as announcers cannot afford to take a break because every second something exciting happens. Oscar Perry on the sweep, he's got up field to the 20, down to the 10, and he's going to fumble the ball as Williams strips it, and Winnsboro will take over at their own 3-yard line. And that's just, you know, Oscar Perry doing a good job fighting for yardage, but you got to give Russell Williams credit for stripping it.
Yeah, I guess turnabout's fair play because Amite did the same thing to Winnsboro earlier in the game, and they recovered the ball, and Amite was able to capitalize and score a touchdown. This time Amite's driving again to try to put the game out of reach here early in the second quarter, 28-0, before he stripped at about the 10-yard line. The ball falls forward to about the 4 before Winnsboro covers it. So, you know, you can't fault the kid. He's fighting. It even looked like he had both hands on the ball. He knew he was getting tackled, but Winnsboro just stripped it away from him.
And, you know, I'm impressed with the way Winnsboro has not quit, Darren. They are really fighting hard. And right there, caught by number 83, Derek Martin. And if we've seen a problem for Amite, it could be in their secondary, and I don't want to say that, but, you know, as you get further and further in the playoffs and teams find the ability to pass, then that could be a problem for Amite, as I'm sure next week, whoever they play is going to look at the film and see that maybe you can get something short on Amite or across the middle. So Amite is going to have to bring those DBs up a little bit. They're too far off. Rose around right in. He's going to cut it up, and he's going to fight hard, break tackles, and get it up to about the 30-yard line.
And that right there looked like a C.J. Baptiste run, the way he just fought and fought off tackles and just kept them big legs churning. But Marty, it almost looked to me like Amite's defensive backs were out of position from the get-go. You had a guy streaking across the field to the far side, and the ball was snapped. He almost made the play in the backfield, but they didn't quite look organized before the ball was snapped that time.
Well, yeah, and I think some of these the various offensive sets that Winnsboro is presenting him is causing him to be out of position. So Boutwell, toss sweep to Rose around the left side. He's going to cut up, and Buckles, along with Marbury Wilson, will stop him short of the first down, back to the original line of scrimmage, where we'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
One thing I see Winnsboro trying to do right now, they're trying to spread the field out. They got 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. They're trying to get Amite's defensive back spread out and toss the ball so it opens up a lot more room. They know Amite's got speed, but they're trying to spread that speed out and hopefully get a lot more positive yards before that speed catches up and tackles them.
And that's a good job by the Winnsboro coaching staff. So 3rd and 2, Rose up the middle. He's got a gaping hole. He's going to cut it inside, down to the 30, and down to the 20-yard line. And this Winnsboro team is getting some excitement, getting fired up, and they're trying to make a game of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing at home. They know Amite's coming in here as the #1 ranked team in the state, and they're not going to be intimidated. Even though they're down 21-0, they're not going to give up. And we knew coming in they had a great offense. And right now they're starting to show it here in the last couple plays that when they bust them guys loose through the initial line of scrimmage, they've got some speed also.
And just when it looked like Amite was going to take a 28-0 lead, they fumble the ball, and Winnsboro has marched it to their 20. Williams on the sleeper. He's trying to get outside, and he's going to take it to about the 7-yard line. And now Winnsboro is starting to believe they can play with Amite, Darren.
Yeah, they are. They're spreading the field out, doing some good play calling. We talked about Amite's great play calling so far early in this game. Now it looks like Winnsboro's taking the page out of Amite's books, spreading the ball around, running up the middle when they have to, tossing it outside for a sweep, passing it outside, and really utilizing their offensive speed as well.
And you're seeing Russell Williams and Bobby Rose, what they can do. You know, we thought that Amite was just going to totally come out here and blow them out after they got up 21, looked to be 28. Now Winnsboro goes down here and score. They're back in the ball game. So 1st and goal for Winnsboro. Rose up the middle, and he'll be taken down by Big James Brown along with Derek Hornsby and Leonard Brumfield. So 2nd and goal for the Wildcats.
Yeah, now, man, again, Dorset Buckles jumping on the top of the pile again, and just as Rose got up in the middle, Buckles looked like he jumped over his block, over the pile, and made the hit, too, to help push him backwards. But, yeah, big challenge right here for this Amite defense, trying to keep this explosive Winnsboro offense out of the end zone.
And, Darren, you can see by the way Winnsboro plays, you got to play 48 minutes to beat them because they don't quit. They flat out do not quit. Williams in motion. Boutwell, he's going to quarterback keep it, trying to look, and he'll be taken down by, I can't see, that's October and Buckles once again, and bringing up 3rd down and goal for Winnsboro, and that's good defense, good textbook tackling by Buckles.
It'll be 3rd and goal to go from the Warrior 5-yard line.
And that's a play I wouldn't have run because Boatwell, being the freshman, he didn't have the speed like the rest of this Winnsboro offense. And if you're going to quarterback sneaking, if you're going to do it like that, I would have put Williams in to do that. And it showed right there he didn't have the speed to get to the corner before Amite's defense tracked him down.
So 3rd and goal for Winnsboro. Intended for Jackson, broken up by number 24. Milton Harrell bringing up a 4th and goal. And this is what championship teams are all about, Darren. Winnsboro gets down to about the 6-yard line, and it's taking a 4 plays. Amite's got to find a way to stop him and get the ball back. So Winnsboro will call a timeout.
One thing I'm noticing about Amite's defensive front, it doesn't seem to me like they're firing through the gaps. They're not putting a good rush on the quarterback. It seems like when the ball snapped, the offensive linemen from Winnsboro are just standing up real slow, and it seems like Amite's defensive front could just blow right by them. They haven't been doing that. Just like they're more of a read and react as opposed to being aggressive and running up the field. I don't know if that's something they always do, or they've just gotten into it tonight and they're real scared. Maybe they're scared of, and I don't know that scared is the right word. Maybe they respect the speed of Winnsboro's running backs and they don't want to shoot upfield and get beat, on a quick trap or something like that. So it looks like they're kind of laying back and just reading and reacting. And when Winnsboro drops back to pass, they're not getting a good rush from the defensive front.
And that's a good analogy right there, Darren. That's exactly right. Either they're not putting full amount of pressure up front or they're reading and reacting. It looks like the latter. So a 4th down with 7 minutes to go before half for Winnsboro. They're going to hand it straight up the middle to Rose. And that's a good play call right there by Winnsboro. You fake the toss sweep and you run the trap up the middle, and Winnsboro has gotten herself back into this ball game.
And that's one thing I was talking about right there. If you get a defensive front running forward and you run a trap on them, it'll bust wide open like that. And maybe that's why this Amite defensive front's been kind of hanging back, reading and reacting to try to avoid plays just like that.
And that was a play that nobody expected, but nevertheless, Winnsboro capitalizes. So Williams on to attempt the PAT. And folks, we've got ourselves a ball game with 6:59 to go before half, and Amite leads 21-6. It is up, and it is good. And the lights, he hit the lights, and they are
21-7.
a few lights have gone out, Darren. I've never seen that. Russell Williams hits the lights. We thought it was fireworks, but the wire caused one of the lights to go out.
Man, is Roy Hobbs in the stadium? It looks like the natural. I've never seen that before either. The extra point hit the lights and sparks started flying. It looked like a fireworks show. I thought it was something they did here in Winnsboro. I didn't see the ball actually hit the lights. I thought every time they kicked the extra point, they might have let fireworks go off or something. You had people scrambling, you had sparks flying everywhere, and but if you stop and think about it more, that's one thing we don't need up here in Winnsboro. As much trouble as we're having with the lights out on the field, we don't need any lights to go out.
And Darren, you can tell by the fans, you can tell by the players' reaction. Winnsboro thinks they can beat Amite, so Amite's going to have to check themselves a little bit, Darren, not let up intensity, because Winnsboro has got momentum, and they're thinking they can play with Amite. So Williams will boot it. It'll be fielded by Perry at his 10. He'll try to fumble. He'll fumble with it, and he'll keep plowing up to about the 19-yard line. And folks, look out, because Winnsboro has got the momentum.
Yeah, they do. All 31 of them out there on the field. Winnsboro only dressed out 31 guys. They got a big crowd here tonight, and the crowd's really getting into the game after the big score by Winnsboro. So now it's going to be up to this Amite offense to shut the crowd down again, to slow the momentum down on this Winnsboro team. They're all fired up now, and if this offense can drive the ball down the field, whether it be a quick play or just a slow, methodical drive, they can really turn the lights out and really stop a lot of this momentum of the Winnsboro fans and players.
Well, I think you're fixing to get a big dose of C.J. Baptiste. And Baptiste is going to get about 2, maybe 3 yards, not before he's taken down by number 82, Derek Horde, bringing up a 2nd down and 7. And would look to be relatively easy in the first quarter and a half, now has got down to nail-biting time for the Warriors as Winnsboro is showing some ability. They've got scored, they've got the momentum, and they're playing a little tougher defense. So 2nd down and 7 for Amite at their own 23-yard line. Edwards goes in motion. Quarterback keeper, and Wagner will be taken down for a loss, as Derek Martin gets him for a loss, bringing up a 3rd and 10, Darren, and Winnsboro is getting back in the game.
From their own 20.
Yeah, and one thing you don't want to do is give their offense the ball back, with any regularity, because they've shown that they can be explosive. We knew that they were going to be explosive coming into the game. They had all these highly touted running backs. It took them until about their 4th series before they could really bust loose, and the best cure for that is to keep them off the field and keep your offense on the field.
So 3rd and 8 for Amite. Reverse to Perry, and he can not get away from big 65, Jimmy McCarthy, and on that particular drive, that's just good defense by Winnsboro.
Yeah, good defense, and they're still fired up, so Amite's going to have to now punt the ball into the wind. So that's going to be an advantage for Winnsboro again. And Amite's defense is going to come back out on the field and going to face a fired-up Winnsboro offense.
And Winnsboro should get good field position out of this, Darren. And back deep to receive for Winnsboro will be Russell Williams along with John Moffitt. And you can see the wind knock that ball down. It's going to take an Amite bounce. And Winnsboro will set up in good field position at the 47-yard line. So Amite's going to have to call upon their defense to stop this Winnsboro offense.
Yeah, and they've been here before. I mean, this defense is really, they stepped it up when they had to this year. Maybe that last drive by Winnsboro can be a wake-up call. They've been in this position before. And, one thing, going back to the Winnsboro offense, they put up 54 points last week. So we know they're explosive. And you don't put up 54 points by running 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So, they're a quick strike offense, and this Amite defense has got to be a quick strike defense right back at them.
And maybe Amite getting a little complacent after getting a big lead. So Boutwell hands it up the middle. He's got a gaping hole. And Thomas gets a 1st down to the Amite 42-yard line. And I'm telling you right now, Winnsboro believes they can beat anybody.
Yeah, they are. They're fired up. And this Amite defense right now on the field, they just look like they don't know where they're at. They're not fired up like we saw them before the game. They're getting the ball moved on them a little bit, and, they've got to be wondering right now. We've seen these guys on film. They're explosive, and now they're showing it to us firsthand.
So Rose trying to get up the middle, and he'll be taken down by big James Brown, but he still gives up about 4 or 5 yards, bringing a 2nd down and 7. With 4 minutes to go before half, and Amite leads 21-7 with Winnsboro trying to mount a comeback.
Yeah, they're trying. It's going to be real important right here for Amite to hold Winnsboro out of the end zone or even off the boards right here, because time is running out here in the second quarter. And if you can stop them here and go into halftime with the lead you've got, you're going to be in good shape in the second half. Rose is going to take the ball off to the far side. He's going to be tackled for about a 1-yard gain. So the Amite defense stepping it up right now when they have to.
And that's Brown and Ephraim Akchaba on the tackle, bringing up a 3rd down and 4 for Winnsboro. And folks, this is not a game for the faint of heart, because Winnsboro is a fun team to watch as well as Amite. They do a lot of different things on offense, Winnsboro, and they've just pulled out everything out of their playbook. So 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. There's that fake toss trap up the middle to Williams, and he'll be close to the 1st down. I don't think he has it, depending on the spot. He may be about a yard shy, but they will call a measurement.
It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 4th down. Winnsboro is going to call a timeout. You know they've got to go for it right here. I mean, you're down 21-7, 3 minutes left to go in the half. Even if you don't make it, you know, you don't leave Amite that much time to drive the ball down and score before the half. So, you know, Amite knows it's coming. Now they just have to stop it.
Well, Darren, what I think happened is it may, if you can say this, it may have been a little too easy for Amite at the start. You know, they got the big lead, and I think they've come a bit complacent. You know, most teams would down 21-0 against the #1 ranked team in the state would turn around and die, but this hasn't been the case. Amite fixing to go up 28-0, fumbles the ball, then Winnsboro marches at 97 yards, gets a little momentum, stops Amite defensively, and now they have the ball back. And, you know, if I'm Coach Donald Career, I'm scratching my head right now, because if these guys come and punch one in now, you got a ball game and you better be concerned. So 4th and 1 for Winnsboro at their own, at the Amite 33. And Thomas will pick up the 1st down. And once again, Amite just kind of seemed not sure of themselves on defense, not lining up. I mean, all these different sets are kind of confusing them defensively.
Yeah, and when you're confused mentally, it's going to stop you physically from running as fast as you can, or from reacting, you know, like you would normally react. So, you know, they've really got to pay attention to these sets, try to figure out what's going on upstairs, and just play instead of worried about what the set is and what do I do, where do I go, where are they going.
Boutwell looking for Rose, and almost caught by Rose, and once again, Russell Williams, I'm sorry, Darren, Amite confused defensively.
Yeah, and that time you had 3 Amite guys covering him, and it could have almost been called interference. It was close. Once again, though, Boatwell threw the ball right on the money. He had 1 receiver running down the sideline, 3 guys covering him, and his receiver, Williams, had his hands on the ball and could have caught it. And,
you know, as good as Amite had looked in the first period, Darren, things happened so fast, we did not have a chance to talk about this Winnsboro team, but as you can see, they're a good team in their own right. Boutwell, for a freshman, really has a bright future. Pass complete to Williams, and he is taken down hard by number 88 for the Warriors. That's Morgan Reed, but he'll pick up about 4, bringing up 3rd down and 5.
And one thing he probably should have done right there was run out of bounds. The clock's ticking down. It's going to be under 2 minutes before they snap the ball again. So, you know, he had an opportunity to run out of bounds, but instead he just decided to lower his shoulder and try to get what he could get. So now Winnsboro's faced with a 3rd down with the clock still ticking.
1:59 to go before half, and Amite leading 21-7. Boutwell, 2-step drop, blocked. Taken down, big 92, James Brown got his paw on it, and right there, just deflected it. And Amite's got their defenders like 10 yards off, and Winnsboro's recognizing, trying to slant patterns, and also the quick hitches. So Amite may want to bring their defensive backs up a little bit, Darren.
Yeah, it looks like they're employing the old bend but don't break philosophy there, and, you know, rely on somebody to make a big play, or rely on Winnsboro's offense to make a bad play, throw an interception or something like that, get the ball batted down, or possibly get it batted up in the air for an interception.
So Boutwell back to pass. He's just throwing it up for Williams, and Williams is going to try to fight it, but broken up nicely by Amite, number 31, Patrick Wofford. So Amite does their job defensively, and Winnsboro is pretty scary offensively.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they run a lot of different sets. They've got a lot of skilled guys in the backfield, a lot of guys who touch the ball, look like they can go the distance every time they touch it. They almost remind me of the Amite's offense. I mean, running a lot of different sets, got a lot of speed guys, got some power guys mixed in there. You know, both teams' offense are really similar.
And Amite is going to have to make the adjustments there and find a way to get the pressure on Boutwell. So Amite will take over with 1:44 to go before half, and they lead 21-7. Perry in motion on the speed sweep, and he gets nothing as number 20 for Winnsboro, Jacob Thomas. And Darren, when it comes so easy for Amite in the first quarter and the beginning of the second quarter has now gotten harder, what is the reasoning?
For one, looks like Winnsboro's whole team has got a lot more momentum. They've called timeout right here with 1:24 seconds left to go, thinking maybe that they can get the ball back before the end of the half. But one thing I would do, you know, and you said it earlier, just keep handing the ball to Baptiste. Let him pound it up the middle. They really haven't stopped him running the ball up the middle. Here the last couple series, Amite's been struggling trying to move the ball, as it seems like Winnsboro's spreading out as well. And when their defense spreads out, it's going to open the middle up again for Baptiste. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what Amite tries to counteract, you know, what they do to counteract Winnsboro's defense, because they've made adjustments. Now it's time for Amite's offense to make adjustments.
But if there is an advantage, it would go to Amite in the fourth quarter. It's Winnsboro plays every guy both ways virtually. So, you know, some guys could be worn down. Wagner under pressure, trying to escape, and it's going to be called incomplete, and that's probably going to be a holding call right there on the Warriors.
So it looks like offensively the wheels have fallen off of this Amite train here in the last two series. Amite, although the Amite guys are pointing towards Winnsboro, the official calls a face mask and points towards Amite. But regardless, it was a busted play. Wagner had pressure. He couldn't get the ball downfield where he wanted to. He tried to scramble. When he did, he could have got sacked or should have got sacked. He got thrown. He got hit right as he was throwing the ball. The ball fell incomplete. But nonetheless, Amite had a penalty, so that's going to back him up again. And what that does also is stops the clock at 1:15.
And that was a good timeout by Winnsboro. You know, you don't want to take any of them to halftime with you. So it's going to be second down and 24 for the Warriors. And they'll hand it to Perry. He'll try to get outside, and he's going to pick up about 3. And Winnsboro defensively has made the right adjustments and have just shut down Amite the last 2 series.
And now Amite's faced with a big third down. And if they don't make this, they're going to have to punt the ball. And with the wind blowing like it is, they're not going to get a good punt off. But you've got to believe before that would even happen, Winnsboro's going to try to come after this punt. So, you know, 46 seconds, Amite's going to have to snap the ball, and most probably will have to snap it again on 4th down.
So 3rd down and a bunch, and Amite will probably just be content with running this thing out, and I think they may be able to. Baptiste up the middle, breaking tackles, and he is met hard by number 83, Derek Martin, with 20 seconds to go, and I believe the clock's going to run out, and we're going to go in at halftime with Amite leading 21-7. And you can see the difference between Winnsboro. They're even starting to hit a little harder.
Yeah, they are, and Amite, you know, just when it looked like they were going to go up 28-0 before they fumbled the ball on about the 10-yard line, Winnsboro got the ball, drove it all the way down the field, scored, got the ball back again, and before they lost it on downs, this game could be 21-14 right now going into half, you know, whereas Amite could have had a 28-0 early in the second quarter.
So enjoy the halftime show, the Winnsboro and Amite bands at half as Amite leads 21-7.
For generations, Citizens Finance has been known as Money Headquarters, with money to lend for any worthwhile purpose. Real estate loans, furniture and appliances, home equity loans, consolidation loans, and first and second mortgages. Citizens Finance, your money headquarters. Stop by today. There's an office near you. Amite, Ponchatoula, Kentwood, Covington, and Hammond. Citizens Finance, your money headquarters. Mike's Glass and Radiator in Independence, where you'll find Mike Muscarella and his crew hard at work on a full range of services. Whether you need a radiator repaired or conditioned, or just your annual inspection sticker, you'll find Mike Muscarella easy to work with. Mike has all styles of glass, custom cut to fit. Need a windshield? Mike Muscarella will have you back on the road in no time. Mike is easy to find, just off Highway 51 in Independence. Mike's Glass and Radiator.
Hi, I'm Stacy Chen Romney with the Sensations, and you're watching FPTV, Channel 17.
And now the Wahooks and Flag Corps will entertain you as the band plays 1999.